like I said, it was a year or two ago. But the general idea is that I was writing mostly about what do I want to achieve in my personal life. So what, we're like, I have young kids now, so we're in the middle of kind of building a family. So it was stuff focused around that. And then the second thing was, okay, I wrote this book. It's this bestseller. Now what am I going to do next? And, I kind of had to wrestle with that for a little bit because on the one hand, you could just like chase whatever the book brings in. So you could say, oh, okay, I'll do more speaking or I'll turn it into a consulting company and we'll have an Atomic Habits certification and all that kind of stuff. And there are a lot of other authors that do that kind of thing. And I'm not criticizing them at all. Like that may be the right choice for them. To me, that sounds like a nightmare because then I'm managing 50 consultants. I have like this huge team. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to have a big team. And so if I was just writing down the obvious answer where it was like, oh, well, let me just grow revenue, then I end up living a lifestyle that I don't actually want. And man, you'd be surprised how often people are already making enough money to support their life, but then they choose to make more money, but live a worse daily life. And to me, that seems like a terrible trade, Now, of course, there's some threshold, like you got to take care of your needs. But if you're already at that threshold, to choose to make more money and live worse days seems like an awful trade. And so often we talk ourselves into doing that. So
that's such a powerful point. Wow.
I think that was something that helped me a little bit was that process of doing that for 2 weeks. And I realized, what I should start with, and this is a line from my buddy, John, who's one of my entrepreneurial friends. He says, the thing we start with is how do I want to live my days? And then inside that box, I can ask, how can I make the most money? Or how can I reach the most people? Or how can we do the most interesting thing? But only inside that box, not outside of it. And if you start with that, you end up with a very different set of answers than if you just start by asking, how can we make the most money? Or how can we reach the most people? Or how can we do the most interesting thing? And ideally, the objective here is to try to design a business, to design a lifestyle that you feel like serves you rather than feeling like, you're chained to this thing that you created.